Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. What I'm going to talk about is cults, MK Ultra, mind control, and Charles Manson, and the justice system, and just the whole establishment of the justice system. So, um, first, I want to talk about Charles Manson as a child. He was born illegitimate, and his mother was a prostitute. And at a young age, he was put in a mental institution and juvenile hall. And when they let him out, when he was 21, he, from my research, he didn't want to go. And there's a couple different conflicting stories on that, but anyway, you know, I really don't know. But that's the story. Um, when he was around 34, he had already spent 17 years of his life institutionalized. And when he wasn't institutionalized, it was because he ran away or escaped a couple times, or he was just released. Um, so, and he was jailed in like 5 different states throughout his life before he ended up in the LA area in California. So, so by the time he's 21, okay, and I'm gonna have to do some more research, but um, he had been institutionalized quite a bit of his life, and he was, and I do believe, and I'm gonna check what I'm saying to you, and I'm gonna do a follow up video on these subjects to kind of just fill in any blanks I feel like I left, or answer any questions and reply to any comments that you leave on this, because I think this is really interesting. So anyway, the CIA was running a mind control project. It was top secret, and there's a lot of information about that on the internet. Um, and the same years kind of correlate as to when Charles Manson was in these institutions. The CIA refers to the children that they had to conduct these experiments of mind control on were called throwaway kids. These kids were not missed. And Charles Manson often in interviews would refer to himself as a throwaway kid. And he also referred to what we call his followers as throwaway kids. So that kind of jolted me a little bit. And so he also has been quoted as saying that everything he ever learned, he learned in prison. Um, and so, really, the only thing he knew was um, how to survive, how to project uh, and mirror emotions or other people's actions. So he was always in an authoritarian kind of situation. So he learned a lot from that, and he got a lot of followers, and they were doing a lot of hallucinogenic drugs like LSD, and he was having his followers actually mirror him. Like, they'd put his palms up to his palms, and he would move them around, and then he would make faces at them, and they would have to make the same face back to him at the same time. and he was very much in control, and he had done this by mirroring what other people's thoughts and needs were, and he was very good at this. And if you like watch or read about the three main girls that followed him, uh, Leslie and Susan and Squeaky, um, they tell you a little more about his tactics and how he did control them, and how he did not commit any of the murders. And they admit that they committed the murders and give the details. And so Charlie never actually committed a murder physically. So he had a lot of practice in getting followers. He and I believe he learned this in the institution. I believe he learned a lot of these defense mechanisms of the mind in the institution, and how to relate to these other throwaway kids that he drew to them. He knew what they needed, and with a lot of charm and him playing music, he was a hit with the girls, um, and men also were followers. But I question this. He was committed to a life sentence, and he did not actually murder anybody. Actually, he was sentenced to death, and they did away with the death penalty, so it turned into a life sentence. But he did not actually murder anybody. The president, Nixon, at the time, went on television before the trial, and I can't say word for word what he said, but basically that the man's guilty, put him away. Uh, the media had already just sensationalized everything. I mean, it was very, very dramatic anyway, but the media just ran with it. So a lot of these, so this case was basically decided before it even went to trial, and they did not really get a fair trial because of the media. And we had a lot to learn from this trial and from these girls that committed these murders, and Tex Watson also. But the girls, I know, have been real open with their stories and talk about the mind control, and about their time before they met Charlie. They were, throwaway kids, and we should have been questioning this much more, and we should be questioning why they made sure that Charlie was put away. And I believe they know that he had been MK Ultra, and they knew he was a danger to society. So, given his just knowing that, they finally got him in for good and got him out of society for good. But I do believe that they knew that they created evil. They and they knew they had to get him off the streets, and that's why there was not a fair trial for Charlie. And I want to just read a few of his quotes that I found interesting. And I watched Tom Snyder's video or interview, and I will try to put that in this corner or this corner. There'll be a little white symbol up there, and click on it, and it'll be Tom Snyder's interview with him. But I did get these quotes from here, and I'll try to link up some other interviews with the three girls also. And if they're not on the tag or the card on my video, check the description box. I'll get them up there. I'm not real computer savvy, but I'll get it. I'll do it. Okay, so quotes from Charles Manson. You're all going to get the reflection in the mirror of what you put in this child here. Another quote from Charlie. I live by the code of the outlaw. I'll give you everything I got and take whatever I need. I knew I wasn't going to the gas chamber because I didn't do anything wrong. I was born illegitimately on the wrong side of the law. I have been an outlaw ever since. I learned everything I know in prison. I'm not violent. My whole life is on record. There is no violence. We didn't get a trial. We were tried by the media, and the media was selling it. Okay. Yeah, the media was selling it. And, which brings me to another subject. Might as well talk about, make it a little bit longer video than usual, is the Dallas shootings. And they put up a face of an innocent man on the news and said that he was the most wanted man in America for the shooting of these police officers. And in fact, he did not, and his brother saw the news or was notified about it, something like that, and got a hold of his brother and said, you know, they think you're the one that did the shooting, and we got to go take you to the police station and clear your name before they come and find you and just shoot you before they even, you know, try to arrest you. So so they did, and the guy went to the cops, and he gave him his gun. He said, you know, you had my picture on the news. I didn't do it, so I'm here just to, you know, give you my alibi, whatever, you know, something to that effect. And that they treated him badly. He was held for a while. I can't remember how long. They refused to clear his name on the news. The police officers did, when they gave a statement after they found out the man was innocent. And the man had gotten, his brother actually had already started receiving death threats on social media. So I just kind of want to stress the point about the media, and you know, to not take things at face value. And then back to the Charlie's trials, I just think they decided before the trial that the man was going to be behind bars the rest of his life, and he did get the death sentence. And then they took the death sentence away from the whole state And I find that all fishy. And tell me what you think. Do you think there's a conspiracy there? Do you think I'm way off? Um, do you think that he could have been MK Ultra? And I'm interested in your feedback. And thanks for stopping by. Peace.